We have set up a Patreon. We have set up a Patreon.
Patreon, however you want to say it.
A Patreon. We have set up a Patreon.
What that does is that just helps us get things like train tickets, petrol for you. And it helps us get to bigger and better guests. We'll be doing cool little things on there, like
nice little giveaways.
You can put in your questions, and then we can talk to you. So yeah, please go on to
www.patreon.com/overrated everything.
Here we go. Overrating everything. Overrated everything.
This week's accent.
There we go straight. Because I'm excited. It's because I'm excited. This one I fangirled out. This one when I contacted this guest, David Firth. You've clicked the link. He did a documentary with some lads that I worked with at Unilad. He mentioned that he'd just done a podcast or something, and so my friend Chris Pugh, shout out, texted me and was like, "Oh, get David on your podcast, man. He'd love to do it." And I messaged David, and he was like, "Yeah, I'd love to do it." And I did it, sort of booked him in, told you, and then it was only about a week after. I was kind of sat there, and I was like, "I'm going to meet David Firth." Yeah. I genuinely had a little bit of like...
Yeah, you've been really excited about this one, haven't you?
Yeah,
really
man.
Good. And I have as well. I mean, a lot of the things that he created when I was growing up, Fat Pie and... Yeah, I mean, he's worked really hard to be where he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he certainly gave me a lot of memories when I was younger.
Yeah, exactly. And like I say in the podcast, he was... For me, he was the kind of the first... His animations were the first things... first foray for me into kind of dark humour and stuff, and going, oh, I'm laughing at this that I shouldn't. Should I be laughing at this? And yeah. he helped me to grow up, I guess. Which was brilliant. So we met David in lovely Leeds. We had a bit of a kerfuffle at the beginning, didn't we?
Yeah, but we managed to finally.
Bless him. He wanted. So I think he thought we were getting the train. And he was coming to meet us at Leeds station, and then he was going to get us in a taxi back to his. Which is lovely. I failed to mention to him that Tomo was driving as he let on, he drives. So we met him, we had a bit of kerfuffle. We met him in Leeds town centre. We went over to his house.
City centre.
Leeds city centre.
Yeah, it's not a town.
All right, sorry. There goes our Leeds listening base. So yeah, we went to his house. He had nipped and bought some nice coffee.
Prepared us coffee, lovely house.
And his room.
Water.
We had some water, and I didn't have any of it.
He was very prepared.
He was really prepared. He spends a lot of time recording his audio stuff, and I think he said he's done.
And we walked into his recording studio.
Yeah, which is also his bedroom. Oh, mate, it was
the merchandise all over.
It was just cool, man. It was just he's got a lot of art on his walls, his own art. Which just gives you an insight.
A bit of background, isn't it? Sort of like a behind-the-scenes thing.
Yeah, and just an insight into the creative mind of someone, of David Firth.
Some of them photos on his wall, like the drawings, was just
cool,
so brilliantly dark.
And he gave us a little salad fingers figure at the end.
Yes, he did,
which was cool. I don't know whether to give that to Phoebe or not.
Yeah.
Because she'll play with that and it'll just be funny. It'll be weird.
It'll be weird but funny.
Yeah, I might just keep that. I've got a few like toys of my own that I've bought while I've been an adult. Have you ever?
No.
Yeah, I've got a Gremlins figure. I've got a couple of Back to the Future things.
Whatever suits you, mate.
Yeah, I'm a bit like that. I think I'm saying this as well. I am a big nerd, but no. Sorry, I shout all the time. Meeting David was great. It's a great episode. The chat, as you can listen to in a sec, is it's a bit like the John McClure one for me. It didn't really have He had a couple of things. He had a few things he wanted to talk about, which I love because the guests of them kind of episodes always apologise. Oh, sorry, we didn't even really talk about the subject. It's it doesn't matter. The subject is just something that loosens us up round a chat, and sometimes you just don't need that. And with David, you just don't need that. When we
he's
picked
a very
him up,
talkative guy, and we'll let you listen. Enjoy, and we'll see you after.
yeah, here we go. So we're here with I'm not even going to beat around the bush with this. An actual internet legend. You're smiling there, but you are, Mr. David, Mr. David Firth. You know, we doing this, we get to meet some cool people. And I think for me, sort of like Clint Boone was a big one because I grew up listening to his music, but like my dad got me into his music. Like I found you online, like I fucking grew up with them cartoons so much. Like, thank you for coming on the podcast, mate.
Well, thanks for having me. I hope I don't let you down.
No, I'm sure you
built
won't.
Me up quite a bit there.
But no, we had not a bit of a kerfuffle, but we've just picked you up from town, haven't we? And we had a nice chat in the car, and you know, I know that Andy's been ridiculously excited for this one. So thanks for coming on, mate.
It's nice to be on a podcast.
Oh no, thank you.
Yeah,
and
it's better than an interview, to be honest, because you know it's just chatting into it.
It's just nice, chilled out chat. And for people, obviously David Firth, obviously you're mostly known for Fat Pie, which was a website I often frequented, probably a lot more than I should have been, like IT lessons and stuff in school and at home and that. And then I think they banned it, actually. I think they got around to banning it in my school.
They did. They blocked it on a bunch of libraries, and I don't know if they all gave each other a little ring and said, look, here's a website, block this website. Or they had like an international block list that everyone kind of went on and said, oh yeah, let's block that. But it was blocked in libraries and schools and universities and shit.
Yeah, because I remember, like there was because back in the day, sort of I'm talking about 2003, 2004. When did Fat Pie start?
Well, it started in 2003, but you probably weren't watching it then because no one was. 2004 was when it suddenly got busy, unless you were one of like the 100 people.
Yeah, because like we were saying,
were into it before 2004.
So what got people mostly into it? Was it the salad fingers? Yeah. I mean, I was pre-salad fingers. I think I remember a black and white cartoon about roof tiling coming on.
Well, that was before. No, that wasn't before salad fingers.
Oh right,
but
okay.
Salad fingers then it picked up a bit more energy later on, and it got a second wind. So it might have seemed like that was when it first came out, but it would already been released. Yeah, I think that was the first one. It was the first Flash cartoon I did, but I did a bunch of other ones. But Devo was before.
Straight in.
Well, let's just keep going. That's fine. Devo was before Salad Fingers, but no one watched it.
Right.
Not many people watched it until after Salad Fingers, and then we started doing a lot more episodes. But let's not even talk about that.
Yeah, no worries. But yeah, no, like I say, like I remember, watching, what was it? The Milkman's Wife's Tits.
Yeah.
What was that called? Was it just called
Milkman?
Milkman song, yeah. And the Valentine's Day. That was a person.
Pretty.
I was trying my hardest to do impressions of it
on
before.
The way over.
But yeah, like, can I hear them?
You know what? I used to be able to do it really well. Like, I can't now because he's staring at me.
Of course you can.
She brought me a Valentine's Day present at work, and I was flattered. Like, it's just actually, cheers, mate. Thank you.
Because it's like it wasn't a northern accent, and I thought, you'd be able to handle most of them because they're quite northern. Northern. Like most people, especially it's weird when Americans do Salad Fingers voice because
but it is.
It's not normal to hear an American do a northern accent.
It's not. It's weird, isn't it?
So they always kind of slip into that kind of Queen's English. Sort of, just on a few words, like. All right, mate, that sort of Cockney that like, I've got rusty spoons. They always do it like that. It's like, is that what we sound like to Americans?
It is, mate.
I watched a film yesterday, actually, and there was one of the girls from High School Musical was in it, and she was doing an English. She was playing Princess Margaret, and Charlotte was watching it along, and I said to her, can you not just tell how terrible that accent is? And she was like, no, it sounds fine. I was like, no, that's awfully bad.
Yeah, it's crazy, Nick, because I always, whenever I sort of, you hear Americans doing British accents, like it always reminds me of or even like British people in American programs, like what was it, Friends, when they did the whole Ross marries Emily or whatever her name is from London.
Oh, you mean British people as British people?
Yeah, they get more like, they do probably get really British and very like this, and you're like, that's not.
There was one in
how we
Frasier,
talk.
wasn't there?
Yes,
There was a really, and I'm sure that was like a Manchester accent as well.
Yeah, there was a Northerner, wasn't there, in Fraser?
And that always felt really odd. Just really dirty sounding.
It's weird, isn't it?
Americans, I don't know.
I think whenever you watch anything American and there's a Brit in it, like they ruin the illusion a little bit for you. Me anyway.
Did you ever watch the Wire?
I started series 1 and got very, very into it when I was living in Edinburgh in like this flat that we rented out for like Airbnb. And they had a DVD collection, so I was like, "Oh, bang the Wire on." And then I just never watched any of it since. But I've heard it's brilliant.
I only watched the first series, but yeah, they're all, a lot of them are English, aren't they?
Yeah, Idris Elba.
Idris Elba's in that.
Yeah, I didn't even know who he was, and I watched it, and I just thought that guy's really good, and I found out he was English.
Yeah,
and the main guy's English as well, Dominic West.
Yes, he is Dominic West. Yeah, he's English.
That's amazing when you get a new sort of audience and they believe that you're American or say
I think
doing a London
Idris
accent.
Elba, having knowing him as well.
Do you know him? Do you know?
Yeah.
How do you know Idris Elba?
Oh, me, I get about a bit. No, yeah, I did.
That's the most impressive thing
Have you not
you've
met
ever
Idris?
told. No.
Oh, right, I thought you did. No, I met him about 10 years ago. Did this film and he was an
you met him years ago.
He was an executive producer on it. And then and then I produced a music video for a band and Idris directed it. So I've actually had Idris on one of my sets, which is pretty cool.
Oh mate, yeah, that's
pretty cool.
That's the most impressive thing you've told
But no,
me.
Idris, going back to it, without Idris suit. Oh, there's
there'll be a lot of that.
That's nice. That. Sorry, listeners. Idris sounds and suits the American accent better.
Yeah,
I
he
think.
looks. Yeah,
he looks like he's got that American. He's swagger and everything. But
so have you? So obviously you do a lot of accents.
Yeah.
For your cartoons and things. What's your favourite one to do? Like your favourite accent?
Dance for us, monkey.
Let me think. I'll get back to you on that one. I'll be thinking about because there's loads of different voices I do. I like doing there's loads of voices I do that I don't have a character for yet.
Yeah. Do you do most of the voices then?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, sweet. Because obviously there's some. Because I didn't know, and it was only the documentary that we were talking about before that you did, where I think you said like Salad Fingers the voice, because I didn't realise that you do a lot of them. Salad Fingers came about because you used to have to talk quietly or something at your parents' house.
Well, that was I didn't put too much thought into it because I didn't think that many people would watch it. Because, most of my cartoons around then were getting, 200, 400 views.
Yeah.
And maximum. And I didn't even ever hear from those people mostly. So it felt like there was like 3 people watching.
Yeah.
And so I just didn't even think about it. It was going to be a minute-long cartoon. I'd made it in a couple of days. And, I was talking quietly because I was at my parents' house and I was in the attic. And I didn't want to be shouting. And a lot of my voices before that, when I was at university and that, was shouted because I could, because I was in my own room.
Yeah. But that's amazing, though, how something that you never expected to do so well has just changed your life in a way, hasn't it?
It is. I thought I had this feeling like if it did get popular, then great, because the next one won't be Salad Fingers and the one after that won't be Salad Fingers. Then it's just people were asking for more and more of that.
What, more and more for Salad Fingers?
Yeah, so I made like 4 episodes and then I started doing other stuff and then they were just still going on about it.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Because Salad Fingers I love, but for me it was always them. This is again what I mean. Like for me, when I first sort of discovered your stuff, it was the first time as well, because I'd been about 13, 14, and it was the first time where I'd watched something that made me go, oh, can I laugh at that? Because I'd seen obviously stand-up comedians and that, and you laugh at them, but then seeing some of the really dark stuff that's in some of your cartoons, like the roof tiling, like the Valentine's one starts off really lovely, really nice, and by the end of it, it's like, I gutted her and ate her spleen, and it's like, the first time you watch it, you go, oh, does that make me sick for laughing at that? And it's like, no, like that's it was the first kind of foray I had into dark humour.
Yeah, well, I always thought going back to those 2 actually, because you mentioned the Milkman and the Valentine's Day, I can't really do that anymore because people know if they see it's me, they know what's coming. So, but that was back then. People didn't know me aside from Salad Fingers, so I could make it look like an innocent cartoon.
Yeah.
No one would recognise my name, and they'd be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, this is a nice cartoon," and then they'd get hit with the shock.
Because they do look really... Them two in particular, they do look
They're
really
both
nice. They're
very
both
similar.
cute.
Yeah, that was it. It was the cute, and also the Milkman had that song on as well.
Yeah, and it doesn't get dark, Milkman, until quite a bit... I mean,
Yeah,
you're saying
it gets a bit
Milkman's wife's
cheeky.
tits, but then it gets a bit darker as it goes
So there's
along,
a few
doesn't
little like slight innuendos really where he licks his lips, and then
Yeah.
there's a little bit of milk spurts out of the milk bottle.
It's yeah, no, fucking thank you for all them, mate,
Yeah, it's
because they
very
are
clever,
brilliant.
very subtle, isn't it? But
Yeah, but so today, obviously, we're here to talk about a subject or a thing that you find quite overrated. And your subject was brilliant, which, if you'd like to tell the
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Seriously, the most overrated thing in the world.
Oh,
No,
mate,
it's
I'm
not.
walking out if
not.
that's real.
It's not
Like,
the first one.
Fuck you and your cartoons.
It's not even Star Wars. I was just thinking earlier. God, that's overrated.
What, really?
Star Wars, you've got like Star Wars
wow.
trainers and shit, haven't you?
I mean, yeah.
One day you will grow up.
I
you
will.
know?
I've got a
That's it.
Pokemon bag with me now. Like, I'm
Yeah.
just such a kid.
Like, I can understand Pokemon. You collect them.
Yeah.
You know, they look cute as well. I watched the cartoon and I thought it was pretty terrible, but the game looked quite
Pokemon
good.
cartoon?
The game looked quite good, and the characters looked cute and
Yeah.
collectible. But Star Wars, I mean, the first one was great, I thought, when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And then there was just more and more and more and more of them. And then they
Yeah.
just keep, like, going, oh, yeah, but this
remaking
happened
them, right?
before the first one. It's just like, yeah, but you didn't think of that at the time.
Yeah, I
did
think
you?
he kind of shot himself in the foot.
I'm sure the new ones are better, but I saw Star Wars Episode 1 at the cinema and Episode 2 at the
Yeah.
cinema when it came out, because that's how old I am. That's like
No, I
2001.
watched. Yeah, I watched.
But I was an adult when I saw it, pretty much.
Ah, right,
I'm
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
I was
fair do.
18 when I saw that. It was the most boring thing. That was 99, wasn't it? 2000, yeah, 99.
Episode 1 came out in about 99.
So I
Yeah.
would have been 16, but I was bored to tears.
Really?
I wasn't crying, but I was actually
Yeah.
very bored.
The thing is with the newer ones, not the newer ones now, but the them three anyway,
they
the
brought
Jar
up-
Jar Binks
yeah.
ones, they were just like they should have just been called Star Politics. Like they weren't Star Wars. They were like they mentioned wars that was happening, but it was all done in like the fucking council chambers and stuff. It was a bit whack.
Sorry, go on.
No, go on. No, go on.
I was just going to say, it just felt like lots of in-between bits that were building up to something that never got to, because it was building up to something that had already been happened, which was Star Wars. So
Yeah.
they were building up to Star Wars, 3 films building up to Star Wars, which was an older film.
Yeah.
It's just like, why am I... And it was just like, oh no, but wait for the next one, because then everything's going to make sense. It's just like, no, I'm not going to I never watched episode 3, so...
Yeah, well, I mean, there was a lot of. Tomo's looking at us like we're complete.
Honestly, I've never seen any of the Star Wars.
Really?
And I've got no interest in them.
Yeah,
whatsoever.
well, you wouldn't... Like, if you watched it, you would be absolutely underwhelmed.
Oh, I don't. I mean,
Well, because
Sorry.
because of like modern day film.
Just because there's more, like I imagine if it was 1977 and you watched that for the first time,
You
you'd
would
like,
be
mind blown.
"Wow, that's amazing."
absolutely. I mean, some of the ways that George Lucas created like space and that back
Yeah.
then was mint. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't look as good as 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yeah,
That was
that's-
years, that was
yeah.
10 years earlier, but that was kind of long and slow. And
Yeah.
not a lot of people could be bothered to watch.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, I suppose back in the day, them sort of films was like sci-fi and special effects.
It was all real, wasn't it?
Well,
Like,
it was,
you know
all
what I
the special effects were so good back then, like they are now. But
I think they look better in a lot of ways back then, because I don't know, they just. You can tell the actors are actually looking at that stuff rather than just looking
pretending.
at the green screen.
Yeah. Well, there's because quite famously George Lucas like never left them alone either, did he? Like when he made them in like the 70s and the 80s, then like when CGI and that became a thing, he kept going back to them and like changing them up. So he just literally kept going back and going, right, I'll add this in, I'll add that in, and then you watch him now and there's like hundreds of creatures on the screen at one point, and then you watch the original and you go, it was fine with that two creatures, but that's not your subject, and that's gone a bit
No, it's
obscure
not my
with.
subject.
I was sat here thinking, fucking what?
He
have
thought
I
he was in the
missed
wrong
here?
podcast there. So
Honestly, I was like,
that was a good tangent though.
No, it was a good tangent. It was spontaneous.
I like it.
But yeah, I've got nothing against Star Wars. It's just doesn't really
not for you.
deserve.
Yeah.
I don't think it deserves to be the biggest film
Grossing
franchise.
film, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's been overtaken right now,
Harry
right?
Potter and that are quite.
Oh
big,
no,
aren't they?
Avengers. Avengers took it.
Really?
Took it. Yeah, the new Avengers film.
Never even seen anything.
Again,
Completely
same as
wiped
me.
it.
I'm not into them. But genuinely, when you said Star Wars, then I thought he'd forgotten to tell me something. Then I was like,
Yeah, I kind of got that vibe.
Sorry. Also, Harry Potter. I think that's overrated as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
but,
man.
I'm with you on
man.
that.
Am I insulting you again?
I mean, I'm so. What you? Do you mind me saying your age is 35, right?
That's fine, yeah.
I'm 28, so I'm a couple of years younger than you. So Harry Potter for me, I was like 11 when the first film came out. We went to see it first year of high school. Was like, wow, this is amazing. And then that was it. Then I was like, right, read all the books. Like I was that kid who was like,
Have you had
from
your
my 13th
photo taken in the what is it? King's
King's
Cross.
Cross. Yeah, I've been
Cross.
to the Harry Potter tour in London. I've been to Harry Potter Land in LA and in Florida.
All right,
Wow.
we get it. You've travelled around a bit.
Not
Jesus.
not specifically for Harry Potter. I was in LA and I was in Florida and I went there. I didn't go for that, but yeah, no, I love it. Like, been to see the new play, which you should go and support, Tomo, because Jack Thorne wrote it. So go and
Well,
watch that.
I'm sorry, I do like Jack, but I'm not allowed to sit watching Harry Potter in a play for 3
but no,
hours.
yeah, like I'm a massive nerd when it comes to anything like that. Like I say, you know what I mean? Like I've got a bloody Pokemon bag there. Like I am a big nerd with things like that.
Have you seen many of the Harry Potters, David? Have you seen?
No.
Have you give them a chance?
I saw like the 5th one out of context.
There you go then.
And everyone was too old anyway at that point. They were all
Yeah.
They
They're
were
not
all-
cute
Yeah,
kids
Daniel
anymore.
Radcliffe's got pubes now. It's not the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was. I think I saw a bit of the first one at Christmas. You know, when it's on
Yeah.
mute and everyone's talking.
Yeah. Have you
So
seen the?
what's-
Have you seen the? Just before we go on to the thing, have you seen the brilliant video I think Judd Apatow did with Daniel Radcliffe, where he's talking about him being Harry Potter? So
Maybe.
it's like just Daniel Radcliffe kind of sat on a couch and Judd Apatow's behind the camera and he's saying like, so what's it like, you know, being an actor and pretending like to be Harry Potter? And he's like, what? No, I am Harry. And he just goes on and he's like, what? And he's like, yeah, you know, I go out and I talk to girls and tell them that I'm Harry. See where that gets me.
He
Like,
did
it's
exactly
brilliant.
that in Extras.
I was
as
going
well.
to say,
Yeah,
that
he
sounds
played
like
a very
Extras.
similar thing in Extras.
Yeah. So what sort of series and films have you like been into? Like, what are your favourite? You know, you say like Star Trek's overrated. What Star Trek fans might think? Well, what David's into?
Well, I don't think I've got. You know what? I really like Red Dwarf. I thought that was.
Red Dwarf. So that's quite similar. To
Yeah, I was trying to think of something sci-fi. I think
Yeah.
as soon as you put the comedy element in there, it works.
Yeah,
for
and I
me.
think Red Dwarf's almost it's kind of spoofy sci-fi, isn't it?
Yeah,
It is
yeah.
sci-fi and it's brilliant.
But that's the thing. It's funny as well as really deep. Some of the stories.
Yeah.
Actually, I think the only other thing that has the same depth of and sci-fi and comedy at the same time is Rick and Morty.
No, which is amazing.
And
Do you like Rick and Morty?
Yeah, I really like Rick and Morty.
Have
And
you seen it too?
I've seen a cut like when it was just online, but now it's got. Am I right in thinking it's got its own? It's on like Dave or something like that. It's on TV now.
Oh wait,
I don't know.
which one you want about Rick and Morty or Red Dwarf?
Rick and Morty.
Oh yeah, no, Rick and Morty is like Netflix.
yeah, Netflix.
Oh, it's on Netflix now.
It's,
of course.
yeah, it's a
yeah.
cartoon.
Adult Swim.
I remember when it was just like it was just an internet thing, wasn't it? At the
I
start.
don't know, was it?
I think it was. It was just
I
like.
think maybe one episode. They might have had a pilot or something. But
I think
Possibly, yeah.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure.
thinking of
but-
something else maybe.
So yeah, Red Dwarf, which is. But they remake that recently.
They've done a few more newer series, haven't they?
I think you could stay away from those. I think. I
Yeah.
think certain things need to stop. Like The Simpsons should have stopped a long time ago. Obviously, it makes them money, so they keep going.
Yeah,
But
and yeah,
they're not all.
I agree with you there. Again, I love The Simpsons, and it was definitely better back in the 90s when it first came out.
Yeah.
But I just
I'm
I
happy that
don't
it's
want to
going, I'm
imagine
sure.
a world where The Simpsons isn't on anymore. I mean,
but
it'll
they-
never be off the. It's like the Fresh Prince, in it. It'll always be on the telly.
Yeah.
You can always find Will Smith in his uncle's house on telly at some point. And I think The Simpsons, like Friends, it'll always be on TV. But yeah, I don't know. I've never lived in a world where The Simpsons isn't being made. That's weird.
Wait, when were you born?
1990.
Oh,
So
right,
I've
okay.
literally never lived in a world, and neither of you two,
No.
where The Simpsons isn't getting made.
But then again, I
which is
think The
crazy.
Simpsons is a bit overrated.
Really?
It probably is. And I remember when it first came. Well, I don't remember when it first came out. I remember when it first came to England, and it wasn't straight away. And everyone was just like Simpsons mania.
Yeah.
But it didn't. They didn't show it on TV. It was on Sky. So
Yes.
we all just looked at
Yeah.
it and kind of went, "Well, that's probably crap." But we've never seen it.
Yeah,
so I think we just had, or in our family, was that's just some crap American fad that's come over.
Yeah.
And they had an awful song that was in the charts with Michael Jackson.
Oh, the which one was it that they did with Michael Jackson now? Because I know they did the Bartman.
If
Do the Bartman.
Yeah, it was Do the Bartman. That was
Yeah.
the one. Well, I thought it was awful at the time, and there was no real. The comedy of The Simpsons wasn't in that song. I thought it was a very
Yeah, they
faddy
did kind of
thing.
sold out a bit on that one. Yeah.
So that's the first. So I remember hating The Simpsons until we got Sky, and then watching it and going, "Oh God, this is really good."
Yeah.
But, it
So you
probably
liked it,
is
yeah.
overrated as well.
What about the more adult ones like your Family Guy and American Dad?
I'd had the first few series of Family Guy on DVD,
Yeah.
and I really liked it at the time. But I feel like I can't go back to them. Like I go back and watch them, and they're not funny anymore. But it felt like it's always funny, but it doesn't have much replay value. I think.
Yeah. See, I'm one of them that can put Family Guy on if it's on ITV every night.
Yeah.
When it went to ITV, I was pissed off because I put adverts on it. Whereas before it was on.
BBC Three.
Yeah. And
See, I used to watch it a lot when it was on BBC Three, but that was when I was like 17, 18, and my life consisted of watching Family Guy and getting
high.
smoking. Yeah.
Family Guy for me is the thing you watch when you're in a hotel. Like it's always on a channel.
Very
Yes,
settling.
you're right.
Very settling.
And I'm flicking through the channels at a hotel and there's just nothing on, and then it's like, oh, Family Guy, that's good enough.
Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah.
So
it'll do.
it's definitely good enough. It's not. I wouldn't go out my way to watch it though. I do have some Family Guy DVDs.
Yeah.
I actually had the first 3 or 4 series, and I remember when it came back after being cancelled. After the 3rd series, everyone thought it was gone forever, and then it came back for the 4th series.
Yeah.
And watching those episodes as they were coming out, like downloading them, looking forward to it every week. So, but I just kind of lost interest, I guess, over time. I like South Park though.
South Park was brilliant. That was my next. I was going to bring that up.
I still watch South Park when that comes out. There's about 2 or 3 new episodes I haven't watched, but
Yeah.
What-
What did
keep
you
up
think
with
to
that.
the film?
Oh, really? Like
Bigger,
South
longer,
Park.
and
I
cut.
love that film.
I could probably I could probably quote every single word to that film.
Yeah. And when I watch it, I'm just like, I know all the words, and I know the words to the songs and everything. It's
The
so good.
Sunday morning and the grass is green. A fucking absolute great film. And yeah, I think the thing is there is like your stuff in a way. That was because obviously Family Guy has got a bit of a shock value and that. But South Park has got a shock value, and it will get dark at times. Like it will go.
It's very dark.
It will get very. I mean, the film you've got, a love thingy between Saddam Hussein and Satan.
My
like,
idea of hell.
it's fucking mental.
My idea of hell will always picture Terence and Philip being there. Do you know what I mean? I think the sort of the adult cartoons are brilliant. I think they are brilliant.
Yeah. I think there's something in that because like I love cartoons anyway. Just as a thing, I'll sit and watch like Adventure Time and things like that. Like I just enjoy cartoons and they're good for you actually creatively. They're a lot better to watch if you've got like a creative mind because there's just fucking colours coming at you and stuff and it's cool. But I don't know. Yeah, I think obviously adult cartoons are. Because you're an adult, you better obviously because you
That's
get
it though, but there's still some people that don't take them. They still see them as children's entertainment, even though they're cartoons. Like my parents would never sit and watch an adult cartoon, even if it was their theme and it was exactly the sort of humour they're into. They would not watch a cartoon. Like,
strange, isn't it? That
yeah.
strange.
What do they think to your work?
I know they really like it, but and they'd watch my stuff, but they wouldn't. Like if there was they wouldn't even give Rick and Morty a try, or my dad hated Family Guy. I don't think he'd ever even watched it. Never liked South Park. I remember they used to watch Simpsons.
Yeah,
we used to all.
But
watch
that's
The
kind
Simpsons.
of.
But my mum hated it. She was just like, I don't want to watch the bloody Simpsons.
Yeah.
It was just like just because it's animated, isn't it?
Because it's animated.
What? Just hanging on that again in a minute. What was your parents' response like when they first saw one of your cartoons? Like,
I think. Well, I remember when I was like 13, I had a camcorder and I was trying to animate a cartoon, and it was an old lady, and my mum was helping me.
Okay.
So.
Was it dark though? Was it like where?
Oh, it would have been.
was
It would have been
going?
disgusting, and my mum would have been like, "Oh, David, it always has to get disgusting."
Oh right, so it was like because I can imagine like with my mum and dad, had I created say Valentine's Day present, I can imagine they'd have just gone, right, what do we do with him now?
No, I just
was there an element of like, fuck, what have we done here?
I like shocking my mum. It's funny. It's funny to watch.
It's always good to scare your parents, isn't it?
She'll be David. She'll be like, David. But I think they showed them to my grandparents as well.
Oh wow!
So that was.
Did that go down well?
Yeah. No, I remember even when I was a kid, we used to draw Christmas cards instead of like buying them. We would always draw Christmas cards, and it would always be like. Mine would always be like Father Christmas taking a shit. Or,
Nice.
I'm trying to think of something or something disgusting or, there'd be an
Something
arse
out
in
of the
there.
ordinary.
Yeah. I don't know if there'd be a knob in there, but there'd definitely be an arse in there.
Happy Christmas, Grandma.
Yeah.
That's brilliant that you was doing it from such a young age, though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember a time when I wasn't drawing stuff that was a bit disgusting or a bit...
Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, I saw a drawing that was actually scary, and I thought, I really want to draw a drawing that can scare someone.
That's crazy. That's mad.
It was just a drawing in the back of it was in the back of an old Games Master magazine. Do you remember Games
Yeah,
Master?
I remember Games Master.
It was just an advert for something. I think it was this just like demon that had these whited out eyes, and I just thought that's terrifying.
Yeah.
Actually scared me to look at it, and I just thought I wish I could draw something scary.
Yeah, and you're doing fairly well at it. I mean,
Yeah,
just
looking around
your room now, you've got that lady there with eyes like Tomo.
I find that I think the sound in a lot of your animations as well, like with the there's a particular one with salad fingers, the rusty spoon thing, and just I'm right thinking there's one where he's scratching a table really, but the sounds are so sort of there's a lot of suspense to it and stuff.
It's weirder because in the early days, like I would just take. You can get CDs full of sound effects, and I didn't have the internet back then. In the first, I had to go to the library to connect to the internet when I was in university.
And
for
was
a while.
it dial-up?
Oh wow!
With a noise.
Oh, it's just we just hadn't sorted the internet yet. I mean, we had it in university in the rooms, but it was very restricted, and there was no. You couldn't get on. Actually, there's no social media; they didn't exist then.
Yeah.
But you couldn't get on like Napster or for downloading music. It was all blocked. You couldn't get torrents or anything like that. So, but I didn't have access to just loads of sound effects. So I just had this CD of shitty sound effects, and I would just pull them off of that, and it'd be like, oh, that's close enough. And so the sound of him scratching his finger on the nail.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
I don't know what that was. I didn't make it myself. I just pulled it off of a CD. But sometimes, I would just try and. I didn't know how to record sound effects or anything like that, so I would just find something that sounded similar. I feel like a lot of people pay attention to those, and it would just just things that I'd found, I guess.
But things that have just worked, haven't they? Like, you've put it together and it's worked, and it's given you a brilliant career. You know what I mean? It's quality. But so your actual subject.
Oh yes,
half an hour in.
Yeah. So,
which is brilliant, man. I love it when
I've not been paying attention to.
Oh no, it's great, mate. I love it when these chats just go on tangents like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, so your actual subject that you'd messaged us and said was what? Sorry.
People always being right.
Yeah, I think it's not. I don't know if it's that or it's people arguing or people going out of the way to prove themselves right. It's probably mainly been on the internet because I can't think of many examples of it in real life. But just people endlessly bickering with each other about those stupid things. And I get it a lot because, if I do make a cartoon, and I used to be bothered about this, but I'm not now, and I actively encourage it, I feel, is when I do something in a cartoon, if let's say, I'd drawn a television, and I'd written, and I'd drawn the back of a TV, someone would be like, actually, I think you'll find that the scarp lead wouldn't be that way round, because you've got a line in, but you haven't got a picture in, and it'd just be like, oh God, why do you need to be? You're right, but why? Why does it matter?
The internet's a very opinionated place.
The internet's that weird, and I mean, on your cartoons, you've got people commenting on it, but people do it on fucking porn.
Oh yeah,
people comment and
Really?
I mean, allegedly,
Why
I
do you
don't
look
know.
for
I've not
comments
seen
on
it
porn?
in real life.
What are
I've
you
just
trying to
heard that they do.
find?
No, but genuinely,
Scroll down and look at the comments just before this one.
Yeah. Oh no, that's only got 2 stars. It's not good enough.
You're losing your interest and you start scrolling down.
bored now. No, genuinely, people will put stuff like that though on like, because I can't remember, they pop up on Facebook and that every now and again,
What,
like
porn
the funniest comments on porn videos, and it is stuff like, it's like that door wasn't open in that scene, but it was open in that scene, and you're like,
Continuity in porn.
what? Yeah, pointing out fucking continuity errors in porn.
Yeah,
like-
I mean, the kind of guys that are picking up on things like that, Jesus.
Yeah, it is. I understand
Yeah.
what you're saying. When especially with the internet, like it does just allow people to have that bit more of that voice with stuff like that, like grammar Nazis, which you're not allowed to say anymore, grammar police or whatever.
We can say grammar Nazis.
Oh, no, yeah, no,
I don't think
gonna.
anyone's defending the Nazis.
No, that's it. Stop saying grammar.
That's really offensive to Nazis. Come on.
Because actually Nazis have perfectly good grammar. But yeah, no, grammar Nazis, like, you know, who gives a shit? But then, I don't know, sometimes it does grate on me when I see, like, a mate of mine put a Facebook post on or something. And one that always gets me, because it might be my accent, so, like, we'd say, like, our as our.
Yeah.
So I'm
Like
going to our house, right? But then people spell it on Facebook A-R-E, and I'm like, oh, and I want to put something, but I'm not a cunt.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Don't put anything, because one thing, I mean, how old are they? They're too late to learn. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I reckon you learn that. You learn that when you're a kid. Otherwise,
It's gone.
yeah, it's
too
gone.
late.
It's like when people say something instead of
Something.
something. It's
Yeah.
just like that's not the word, but you know,
I can read
I'm not
it.
going to correct you, but
But I say summing. I go,
but that's just-
there's something like that.
yeah, that's just.
I'll
just
use
accent, isn't
slang
it?
in texts and on Facebook. So yeah, I'd put probably
I'm a
like
pretty good texter.
I'd put like summit.
I say summer.
Yeah.
But then again, that's just a shortening. It's not something.
Yeah.
like-
Yeah. They've completely spelt that wrong, I think.
Yeah.
What's the what is it? It's specific.
A Pacific.
A Pacific. I've got a Pacific point about it, and you're like, but fuck it, that's an ocean. That's what?
I want to change my overrated to sayings, actually.
Sayings.
Old saying, when people say sayings, but they don't actually know what they're saying.
Oh, right, okay.
Like,
Oh, yeah, I know
like
what you
a
mean.
part and parcel. That's
Part-
one thing. And what does that mean?
Yeah,
Part
I
and
don't-
parcel,
Pot
yeah,
kettle
yeah.
black. I don't get that
Pot,
one.
kettle, black. I think
My
that's...
dad says it to me all the time. He goes,
It's like the pot calling a kettle black.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what you
Pot,
mean.
kettle,
Dad.
black.
I'm not sure.
Pot, it's...
I mean,
the pot's calling the kettle black.
Yeah,
That's
I think-
that's usually one of those ones that means
You're calling someone for something that...
you are too.
Like if I
Yeah,
said
yeah.
to my dad, I'd go, oh, look at the size of that guy in the corner who's just had 10 pints, and they'll look at me and go, pot kettle. And
Yeah,
I'm
because
like,
you've drank 10
"Has
pints.
that got 10?" Oh,
Yeah.
But I know what you mean with them sort of things. And it's more so with older people. You know, like the older sayings that are like that pot
Yeah.
kettle one that the younger
Yeah.
generation might not get.
But what I and so that wasn't my subject, but you know, I
No,
will
mate,
go on
riff,
to it.
riff away,
Um,
riff away.
It's when people then they hear it and then they write it wrong. So it's just like they don't know what it actually means because they've written it how they hear it, and how they hear it is not what it is. Like when people say, if you ever write with all due respect, what they're doing is they're writing with all due respect, but in an American accent, and it's like
With all due respect. Yeah.
with all
you can-
due respect. And you see them written it like do.
But it's due.
Yeah, it's like don't. I think people just they take too much from TV.
Yeah.
Because I don't watch much TV, I pick up on it more than other people would. But no, that's not that was just a miniature tangent.
No, mate,
from
that's
the
a
original one.
brilliant miniature. Because again, I get it. Like, you know, there's some ridiculous sayings. Like, I remember when I was a kid and I'd run down the stairs and my dad would say, "Oh, you ran down the stairs like a herd of elephants." And I'm like, the fuck does that mean, Dad?
But that just is exactly
When
what
have
it
you
says on
ever
it.
heard a fucking herd of elephants? Or like, but it's just a shit saying, isn't it?
Yeah.
Jumanji.
Do you know,
that
Proper
was it,
up. Well, yeah, I suppose, yeah, Jumanji, yeah.
Do you know, another one for me was my dad used to walk into my room and go, "It's like a bombs at it." And,
Yeah.
and I thought that it was the word bombs hit it.
Oh,
Not
right, okay.
bombs hit it.
Bombs
But my
hit
dad
it.
going, "Oh yeah, what's going on in your room? It looks like a bombs hit it." And I'm like, "What's a bombs at it?" But it's like a bombs hit it.
A bonza tit.
Yeah,
A bombs at it.
That sounds like a really big tit, doesn't it? Just
Yeah,
one.
big,
Bonza
huge,
tit.
yeah.
Sounds like an Australian slang for like big.
Yeah.
Oh, she's got bonza
Oh,
tits.
mate, have you seen her bonza tits,
But it
mate?
is. But I probably said it at one point, going, "Oh yeah," walked into a mate's room and gone, "Oh, it looks like a bombs at it." Yeah, it
looks like a
Not
bombs at
knowing
it,
what I
doesn't
meant by it, but it's a bombs has hit
Yeah.
it. But I suppose it comes with accents as well, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Your
yeah.
accent's a bit different.
Yeah, because that like you say, accents do play a big part in it. But then, yeah, I don't know. Sometimes, like you say, they are too old to correct them. I guess now.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like
too late
past
for you.
that.
Yeah, but that's so that my my main argument about people being wrong, and I'm happy to let people be wrong. That's it. Like I don't need to if they're wrong about something that I've done or I've said, then I'll put them right because I don't want them spreading rumours about me.
Yeah.
But if people want to actually think half of this crap that they put on Facebook, they'll be like, oh, if you look at and it's just like, I don't care. I don't care how wrong. And you know, even if my parents will be posting something, they'll be like, it's always like the Tory expenses, wow, were this, and they could have spent this, but they actually spent this on breakfast, and it's just like, I'm sure they did, but I don't care. I really don't care. I know that they're horrible, and it's probably really, really terrible, but honestly, you've just taken a fact there and you've put it on there. And no, most people are just going to say that's probably true because it's written there. They're not going to look it up. It might not be true, but I don't really care if it is.
Well, that's how a lot of these sort of bigger pages work now. Like, you know, having done stuff in the past for them kind of pages, that's how they work. They want people to argue.
Yeah,
so they put out
comments.
Absolutely.
If I see a video, like, I'll often look at the comments and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just to see what people are saying, and there's always people saying like what you were saying.
Here's a good one a good game I like to play. It's on Facebook. When someone sends you a video on Facebook, the comments aren't visible straight away. You have to actually press the comment button.
Yeah.
Don't you? Whatever the video is, let's say it's a kid that's running around the garden and they've got a frying pan or something, they're making a stupid noise. It's just something random like that. And my guess is, what are people going to be outraged about in the comments?
Yeah.
It's like, so you just... And if there's an animal in it, you know there's going to be some outrage. Whatever the animal's doing, if the animal's doing something cute and funny, it'll be, I don't think it's... You shouldn't be doing this to your animal.
That dog should not be out in the snow.
Yeah,
well, that sort of thing.
I experienced it firsthand, David.
Oh, you did as well.
So
it was brilliant as well.
About 2 years ago now, I had my little girl, so she must have been about 2, and I was sort of babysitting my sister's little boy, so he was about 2.5, so a couple of months between them, like, and they were both asleep having a nap on the bed. So my family, everyone's a fucking prankster. Like, we're just one of them families, we're up for a laugh. So as my dad probably did it to me, and my mum probably did it to me in the past. Never filmed it, but I went upstairs anyway, and I woke them both up filming and going, guys, wake up. And they opened their little eyes, and I was like, it's Christmas. And so they both woke up and they were buzzing and like really excited, and I was like, it was like March. And I was like, oh, sorry guys, I was joking, it's not Christmas, like it's like Easter soon, but that's, you know. And my little girl just gave me a telling off. She was like, that's not funny, Daddy. I just joke it fine, laughed about it. My nephew cried, but my nephew would have cried if I told him it was Christmas and it was Christmas. He's just one of them kids. He just cries about it. If he just woke up from a nap, he cried. So anyway, I put it on Facebook. I was like, right, put it on Facebook. Like, have a laugh. This is funny. I find it funny. I showed my wife. She found it funny. My mum and dad found it funny. Brilliant. Put it on Facebook. I had someone from uni lad say, oh, can we put that on the page? I was like, yeah, it's fucking funny, innit? Brilliant, yeah. And then I was getting called, like, a child abuser. People were saying I was abusing and I was like, no, like, it was a joke. They were fine 2 minutes like that. You've emotionally scarred that child now. And I'm like, no. Like, they didn't see that half an hour later, like, my dog had just had puppies and I gave Dill a puppy. I give him a fucking friend for life. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
you didn't make a video of that, though.
I didn't make a video of that. I should have. That's where I fell wrong. But yeah, no, I had I had to ask them to take, I was like, look, guys, I'm getting like,
Death
people, not death. Well, yeah, there was a few on there.
I will actually kill you for making a child cry.
Yeah, and then the next day,
did they call you a Nazi?
They didn't call me a Nazi. That was good. No, but the next day, Loose Women got in contact and wanted to put the video on because they were discussing pranking children.
And because he's
and I was like, no. I was like, no, you're all right. You're all right.
Loose Women. You could have been on Loose Women.
No, you're all right.
Followers
Thank
on
you.
Instagram for that, mate. Think about the followers.
No, man. Honestly, it was. But yeah,
just being on TV gets you those Instagram followers.
Any press is good.
You want to get that blue tick?
I need it. He's got one. I need one. But no,
you got to apply. You got to put your photo ID on there.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that the other day. I was just like, why haven't I got the damn blue tick?
You should have the blue tick, man.
I got a blue tick on YouTube.
I just got my
some other things. Twitter.
I've just got my agent to do it for me. You know.
Oh, did you? Jammy bastard.
That's the thing, though. It's easier to do it yourself. I remember for about a year saying, "Can I get a blue tick on Twitter for people helping me out?" And then I just applied in the end, and they were like, "Yeah, you can have it."
Yeah. But apparently, it's a lot harder to get it on Instagram. Apparently, they're a lot more strict.
Well, yeah, that's why they asked for the photo ID, and I've sent it, but I don't really care because it's Instagram, and I'm not really.
Do you because you don't strike me as someone who cares that much about sort of social media and stuff. But then I guess, like us with the podcast, for you getting your work out there, you have to lean on that.
Yeah, but it's also a really good tool. Like
That's what I mean.
Recently I've had a bunch of companies making bootleg salad fingers merchandise.
Oh,
and
shit,
I'd email them and it'd just be like there'd be no reply or anything, or I'd say take it down and nothing had happened. So then what I'd do is I'd go on Twitter and I'd be like at them and say take this down, and all my fans would be like really angry, you bastards, take this down, and it would be down in 10 minutes.
But they're probably making money off what you're...
Well, yeah, that's the point.
They pretend that they take, we take copyright really seriously here. No, you don't.
Yeah.
I mean, you do, but not until you've been asked to take it down. They're still making money off it. I think it's one guy who, and I think I worked out he was in like Vietnam or something, but
he's making like what?
He just keeps setting up fake Facebook fan pages for my work, and then he sells T-shirts and he puts an ad up and he does a sponsored ad, so it goes out to loads of people that are with interests in common, and then you look at the comments and everyone's just like, oh wow, gonna get you one of these for Christmas, and it's just like you motherfuckers.
And do you do all that stuff as well though? So
well, I don't do the sponsored ads.
No, do the merchandise?
Yeah, I do merchandise.
So it's directly affecting your... Oh,
and
shit,
also there are always T-shirts on eBay, and you can see how many have sold as well. You know, it'll say like 400 sold, and it's like never getting that. It's really difficult to get stuff taken off eBay. Like
I can imagine, yeah.
But it is.
It's try and make good stuff to, as a better alternative.
Yeah.
That's not. It's not more expensive either. It's not cheaper.
It's just people are finding that first, I guess, because they're paying for the sponsored ads and all that.
And those sponsored ads, I don't know who they're targeting, but they always get a whole wall of comments. There'll be loads of people like, "Oh, so cute! I remember this."
Yeah. Well, it is now because it's your stuff as well as because you're doing a new salad fingers, aren't you?
Just finished it.
Just finised it.
Yeah.
Is that out now? No. So
I'm going to do the sound. I've got a guy doing the sound effects this time.
So you're not buying a CD this time?
No. Got to get that 1996 CD with all the really crispy. It was actually a game.
That was brilliant.
It was a game making software. It was making easy games, and they were really. And it was 1996. The CD. It's called the Games Factory, and they had this archive of sound on it. That's where I got them from.
Oh, yeah. Wicked. But yeah, you've got that interesting thing now, I guess. Though with that is like you said there, people tagging saying, "Oh, do you remember this?" Like you actually got that nostalgia thing.
Yeah,
like full on. And I think that's why like salad, because one of them, didn't you do one recently as well?
Oh, I just did a ad for 1 million subscribers on YouTube. I finally got to 1 million.
And that flew by as well, didn't it? Wow. Yeah, no, congrats on that.
Well, I mean, I signed up for YouTube in 2006.
So it's been a slog.
It's been a real slog.
You know PewDiePie?
No, and some of these people get like 10,000 a day.
Jesus.
Actually, way more than that. I was thinking maybe some of them get like 100,000 a day. I don't know.
And I guess now the thing is with YouTube is your stuff... It's quite dark and that, so YouTube won't.
Yeah,
like
they used to love it.
Yeah.
I don't know. YouTube are actually okay now these days because they offer people with a certain amount of subscribers like free support. So there's someone that will message me, and so I can contact them.
Oh, that's cool.
I think they worked out that people getting really annoyed with feeling like you were just talking to a robot when you had a problem.
Yeah.
So they're trying to patch things up because they had some troubles with the advertisers, but still it doesn't feel like anything solid that I can.
Yeah, no, and you need the support for it though, because if you're creating their content and you're getting more people, like your fans will go to your page, and then they may go off onto something else. As on YouTube, you can play the YouTube game. You can go on to millions of other videos. Yeah. So that they need to be supporting the high people who are bringing in a lot of people,
Well, yeah, maybe. I mean, they don't really give a shit. I'm like 5,000th or something in the subscriber ranking. Like,
so the top earner last year. Did you hear about this?
Was it PewDiePie or something?
No, the top earner last year was a 7-year-old boy.
Oh yeah, Ryan, that. Yeah.
So he does Ryan's toys reviews.
Baby Shark.
No, he reviews toys.
So he reviews toys.
Oh yeah, the unboxing.
26 billion views.
Yeah,
he had last year.
What?
And he earned $22 million. and he's 7
crazy,
years
innit?
old.
Jesus.
That's
I
it.
wish my daughter was earning that much. She's earning nothing.
Yeah.
She's doing absolutely
How
nothing
many
for that
views has
household.
she had last year?
None. Not
Do
one.
you reckon Ryan's soy reviews is like got his own mortgage already and all like?
Mate, I mean, yeah, because I'd like to know, because like what happens with that? So like, I know, like, being an actor, like when we did like This Is England, we were young. I think
I was
you
13.
they ask your parents basically what you want to do with the
I
money.
didn't know what I was going to do with my 26 million. You see, I was like, oh god, I don't know. What I'm
No,
gonna
but do you know what I
with
mean?
it.
Like, it wasn't obviously millions, was it? It was, you know.
I don't know, speak for yourself. I was number one there.
But like,
You were 13.
we get
So,
The first one.
13.
13, yeah, in the film, weren't you?
He looks a lot younger in the film.
He looks about 7, doesn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
But yeah, no. So things come out there. So we got asked, I guess, what we wanted to do with our money. But is this 7-year-old who's making millions getting asked, or is he spending it with his mum and dad?
He'll
Or is
have
his mum and dad?
management and
I guess so.
There'll be a lot of people behind it.
Well, think about it like this, though. I mean, Michael Jackson was making a lot of money at
True.
10 years old.
True.
Yeah.
Dead at 50. So,
Yeah.
you know, live fast, die young.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
it.
You've got to be careful.
I'm not saying this person who's reviewing
Yeah.
toys is going to be, but they're going to have,
Hopefully not.
you know,
But their lifestyle.
yeah, they're going to be
It's
addicted
gonna be crazy,
to all
isn't it?
kinds of pills. I'm just saying, like, you know, when you get that famous, they've got a pill for everything.
Yeah, that's probably
It's like, oh,
true.
you're feeling down now. You're too famous to feel down. Have this pill.
Yeah. A lot of yes men.
Are you
and-
tired because you've got a flight to? You're going to go to Melbourne and then you've got to fly to Tokyo from there and then back to LA.
I don't care if you're 6.
Yeah, just have these pills and you'll be able to deal with it.
Yeah, that's
it's
probably
mad
true.
When you've got that much, because he's got 26 billion people who want to see another video.
Jesus.
So it's like
26 billion, is that?
He got 26 billion views
Yeah, that's a
in
lot
one
of views.
year. 26 billion.
It's I reckon you to get that sort of views, you need to like break India because they've got so many people.
Yeah.
They've got
Yeah,
a billion
China.
people. India and China. I don't know if China can get on YouTube, but I know
Yeah.
India are huge on YouTube. They've got the #1 YouTube channel. Has it passed PewDiePie? I think, or it's
Has
getting
it?
there. Because it's India and there's loads of people
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
and
exactly,
You forget
yeah.
there's like 3 times as many people as in America as there are in India.
Yeah, that's true.
How many final views did? What's your highest viewed video? Do you know?
33 million.
33 million on one video.
Yeah, and that was a re-upload because it was re-uploaded in 2007. So I don't know how many originally it got. The guy that runs my website reckoned it had 50 million hits.
And what was that? What video was it?
Salad fingers.
Salad fingers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the first one.
Because like nowadays, like, again, this is beginning of the podcast, like saying like you are an internet legend in terms of you are one of the first people, I guess, to be putting stuff out there onto the internet in that way. Because your stuff was probably just before YouTube even was a thing. When did YouTube?
Yeah,
that was
it
the
was
Super
very
Bowl, wasn't it?
early.
It was after the Super Bowl.
People say that, but people and people always do these weird claims. They'll say something like, "Oh, you had the first viral video." I was like, "No, I didn't. I saw viral stuff in like '98 and stuff like that. It was just, it wasn't like viral back then. Was you emailed it to each other?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
So people used to email my stuff, but also it was on Newgrounds, and that was a permanent place, and that was one of the first places I saw to post stuff, and it was instantly available for everyone.
Yeah.
Like mostly those services didn't exist. But when I went on, that was 2004, and they'd been going 4 years. And
Yeah,
they had
yeah,
4
yeah.
years worth of content on there. So there was loads of stuff. It's just people kind of forget, I guess.
Yeah, that's it. Because like nowadays, like, again, you know, I would have watched some of your stuff over and over. Like, I would have been like, you know, Valentine's and that again. Like, I'd have been watching that over and over. Nowadays, a lot of the stuff that goes on online is a little bit more throwaway, I guess, because there's so much of it and there's so many people
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah, and it's playing.
know.
The next video's playing.
Yeah.
Even if you don't press anything on YouTube, it already starts playing the next one, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Unless you disable that.
Do you reckon that's hindering creativity? Is it better for creativity for people?
Well,
or?
it just means people aren't really prepared to spend a lot of time with one video. But I guess I don't know if it changes anything. I've got more views than I used to have, so it's not
Yeah.
like I used to have a bigger share of the views because there weren't as many viral videos because it wasn't very easy to get paid to make videos online then. But there are more people online now. So.
Yeah, that's it. There's more.
Yeah, I remember when 1 million views was just like the absolute. That was amazing. That was incredible to have 1 million. Now it's like, it'd be incredible to get, 30 million or
Wow.
something like that. So that's, 1 million was the ultimate goal. But I think
And how long ago would that have been?
2004.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Right. Okay. So a good
2004.
while ago.
1 million. Also, websites used to have counters on them.
Yeah.
Like it used to tell you how many people had been on your website, and if you had 1 million viewers on your website, then yeah, you'd made it.
Yeah. Wicked.
Go on, mate. Sorry.
No, go on. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think things like social media are a massive thing for videos.
Yeah. I mean, look at. Yeah.
I'm only on Facebook for the videos. I've probably got 50 friends on Facebook. I don't hardly use it, but all my friends are constantly sharing videos, and there's always videos in group chats that go viral and things like that.
I'm kind of getting a bit bored of all that now, me though.
It's literally.
I'm getting to that point now where I'm sick of seeing, like, you go on your Facebook, don't you, scroll around, and it is dog videos, and it is just the same shit, isn't it? Like I miss going on the you don't go on the internet really anymore. You go on Facebook or you go on Instagram or Twitter or whatever. Like I do genuinely miss going on the internet and typing in Fat Pie or going on Newgrounds and mini clip little websites that just used to pop up and like nowadays.
Newgrounds, the one with the little tank.
Yeah, it was like a little tank thing, wasn't it?
Of course.
Yeah.
Shit, yeah, I remember that.
Tomo's just had a bit of nostalgia from.
I really have.
If I had any Newgrounds memorabilia around, because they do send me stuff from time
Is it
to
still
time.
going Newgrounds as well? Yeah.
Wow. Jesus, I've not.
I might have had a thing, a sticker or something. I don't know.
Just looking around, David.
There'll be something.
There's so many cool things.
Well, you said when we walked in, didn't you, Andy, you're in heaven in there, and I was like, like there's so
that one
much
above
cool
the door
stuff.
in particular for me is like
Yeah,
brilliant.
have you seen that one? Don't repeat what it says, Tomo, but have a read of that.
All that sort of stuff.
Oh, I'm on the other side. I didn't like looking at myself because I'm on the other side.
Oh, nice.
I'm the DJ.
Crystal meth.
Crystal mething, that was it.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff here.
I think it actually plays as well. It is vinyl.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's good, but I mean, I think that would probably.
Yeah, man. I mean, this is like I say. It's been a great chat, David. Thanks.
Is that it? Are we
Yeah,
done already?
man.
That's a short one.
I think. Yeah, I think we'll wrap it there.
I don't think we spoke about like. I think it was not so much people arguing, but just people. I think
a few people have said that when we've had guests on. It's like, what do you find overrated? Just people. Just
what
people.
about if you're right? If you know you're right and people question you're right?
Oh well, that's fine. No,
really? See, I've. Sorry, go on, mate. Go on.
I just think if you're gonna. I think I watch a lot of things. I want to educate myself mostly for the. I think the best videos on YouTube are ones that teach me how to do something.
Yeah.
I feel like I've done a course in like this year. I feel like I've done a course in music theory because online I've just been watching this guy just say all this crazy music theory stuff, and I've just been picking it up.
Oh, nice!
And I just watch it. When I'm on the toilet, I'll just be watching it. They'll be talking about the Mixolydian scale or something, and I'll be like, oh, that's interesting. So they got the different intervals and then I start working out. Then I make some music based on it. Holy shit! I've just learned stuff that you would have to go to university to learn.
Yeah.
And I learned After Effects on the internet, so I do that. But when these people, so these are the ones that get the most comments of saying, actually, I think you'll find it. And it's just no, it's not. You've taught me how to do something. There's multiple ways to do anything. And coffee as well. Like I'm holding a cup of coffee. It's hard to make coffee taste good, so you have to go online and find out
how to make it taste good.
Yeah, and then even if you've got the world's best barista, like they can win a competition to be the best barista in the world, and they will teach you how to make coffee. Someone in the comments will say, actually, I think you'll find if you do it this way, it'll be better. It's like, but you're not the top barista, he is.
Question when you're right. One thing that annoys me is I'll I'll drive to Sheffield. It's only an hour away. Someone goes, no, I think it's a bit more than that. I go, well, I know for a fact. I've driven it probably 200 times. I know Sheffield's an hour away, and they go on their phones and they get their sat nav out and they check it, and I'm like, but I know that I was right. I know for a fact. But you're still not. You're still not believing what I'm saying.
People just like having like the final say, don't they? I when you first said the subject, people being right, I thought you just meant in general. I get the internet thing because I'm. Like, my mum always says it about me. I'm my wife. Like, yo, you always have to be right. And I'm like, no, I don't always have to be right. But when I am right...
You're correcting them even when they're saying that.
Yeah.
Actually, I think you'll find I don't always have to be right.
But it does... I get it from me grandma. She was like that. But, like, I'm genuinely like, no, I'm passionate. So I'm like, no, I wouldn't correct people online and shit like that. But, like, if I say something like that, I get, I'm going to drive to Sheffield. It's an hour away. Oh, it's an hour a bit. You're like, well, yeah, but like when you know something for certain, and you're like, no, fuck off, because I know this.
Yeah. And what about when someone asks you a question, you tell them the answer, and then they don't believe you.
Yeah.
Like that. What time is it? Oh, it's 2:30. No, it's not. What?
We've had it before.
You've just asked me.
Yeah.
I've just told you the answer, so why are you questioning? If you're not going to believe what I'm saying, then why fucking ask me the question?
We've had it before. Remember that time in Birmingham? Some girls stopped him on the middle of the street and was like, "Oh my God, you're that kid out of this is England 90, Thomas Turgoose." And he's like, yeah. And they're like, "Can we get a picture?" And then he went, yeah, that's Gadget. And they just looked at me and went, "No, you're not." Carried on. I just stood there. I was like, "Yeah, I'm not." That fucking brilliant. Like, I loved it.
It's always amazing when people expect you to convince them who you are. And they go, "Oh, you look like that kid." I'll go, "Oh yeah, I was," and they go, "Fuck no, fuck off." I'm like, "Oh, I am," and like I'm not going to sit there and convince you who I am.
Because then you sound like a dick, don't you?
Rowan Atkinson really said a funny one on Graham Norton the other night. He said he was in like a Land Rover place, and he was waiting for his parts, and the bloke come back and said, "Oh, it was the left-hand side you wanted." So he had to wait another 15 minutes, and some bloke looked at him and said, "Do you know who you look like?" He said, "You look like Mr. Bean." And he went, "Well, I'm the actor that plays Mr. Bean." And he was like, No, you're not. I mean, you look like him. And he was like, I am him. And that bloke was trying to convince, he was like, "Well, you could make a lot of money, you know, going to like hen do's and stag do's and like impersonating Mr. Bean." He was like, "Fucking, I am Mr. Bean."
It's crazy, isn't it?
People always trying to be right, innit? That's what it is.
Do you? Because yours obviously, you do put your face on a few bits now, don't you? I've seen some of the news. What's the news thing? Is it that you?
When I put my face on the news, though, right? What happens is I track the faces that are already on there, and it stretches the face a bit, so it doesn't look like me.
You can tell a little bit looking at you now.
I totally have to shave though, like really have to shave to do that. Otherwise, there's a line.
Right.
So
And do you get recognised a lot?
Not for that.
Well, I mean, do you get recognised in general?
I reckon I walk fast, so people haven't got the chance to recognise me. I was just, when I was waiting earlier outside the Queen's...
Usain Bolt's got the same problem.
I was outside the Queen's earlier, and I just thought, right, if I stop here, then someone will ask me for money. Like, so what I did was I slowly paced up and down. As soon as I stopped, this guy was just like, "Excuse me, mate." I know, like, so I reckon if I stopped somewhere and looked around, I might get recognised more. But occasionally when I've been waiting for someone, like I've been recognised because I'm there and they've had chance to kind of go,
look at you, hear your voice as well.
I said like I was recognised in Italy.
But Italy as well, like, that's amazing.
But it was an Aphex Twin gig, and I'm often associated with Aphex Twin because like I use his music all the time, and a lot of people say that they got into him because they heard his music on my cartoons.
So that's cool then.
I think they would expect me to be at an Aphex Twin gig, or maybe I can't even remember if I might have even retweeted that he was gigging and doing a gig.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice if people sort of recognise and appreciate your work, because then you feel like it's not a complete waste. Do you know what I mean? People really appreciate. And if someone comes up to you in the street and sort of gives you a bit of praise for your work, it makes you think, oh, it's nice that people are taking time out of their day to praise you and make you feel good about what you do. Yeah, it's nice.
I mean, it's I am probably happy with the amount that I get recognised. Most of the time I don't want to be recognised.
I'm the same. I'm not a big fan of it.
I love it. I can't get enough of it.
I do like it when it happens. It's just it's never at the right time.
That's
and it's always. I don't know.
You've just dropped a carton of milk down your front, like, you've gone, fuck, I'll just get on that scuzzy bus home, no one will notice, or something like that. And like,
when I fell in that big massive mud pile at a festival.
Oh yeah.
I was coming out of the toilet at a festival and I slipped over and I was head to toe in mud. And some bloke would come up to her and said, "Oh, can I have a photo?" And I was like, dude, look at the state of me. But, it's one of them things. I was at a festival, I was full of booze, so you just get on with it, don't you? But it's nice, it's good. But
he recognised you even though you were like, I'm just picturing like, just your eyes.
Buddy. Well, it's these eyes that give it away.
It's the teeth that people recognise all mashed up, aren't they? So.
Yeah. But no, we'll call it there anyway, David.
Cool.
This really is the end. Thank you so much for inviting us round and having us there and making us a delicious cup of coffee.
It was all right, wasn't it? It was just
really nice,
Sainsbury's.
It's really perked me up anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, bud.
No worries.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
I mean, another good one in the bag. Another solid week.
Just beautiful.
Yeah, you was really happy about this one, and
Yeah.
you know, was you happy with?
Yeah, man. Like I say, it was really nice to talk to David, and you know, he's just someone who's, I guess, you know, I've probably now known his work longer than I've not known his work. It's about 13 when I first saw.
What are you now, 36, 35?
I'm 28.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, it's like 13 when I first saw Fat Pie and
Yeah.
the cartoons that I mentioned. I'm 28 now, so yeah, I've known his work longer than I've not known his work, which is which
It's
is weird.
good. And for me, having you know, I knew a bit of his work.
Yeah.
But I now know a lot more.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm gonna be able to go into his new stuff, his older stuff.
Yeah.
With a different insight to it, and yeah, I'm looking forward to sort of. I will definitely after this go and look at a bit more of his work.
Yeah.
And enjoy it in a different way, having known how he makes it and how he does everything himself, all the sound, all the graphics.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all him. So yeah, I'm looking forward to sort of delving into it. And if you know, I know we've got a lot of listeners who might not necessarily be familiar with a couple of our guests, but